Hi everyone. Today we are going to tackle an important topic for the German driving theory exam, level crossing. Rail crossings or level crossings are commonly found on German roads. So let's explore some of the key considerations from an exam standpoint. In your exam pack, you would have come across this term called St. Andrew's Cross. The St. Andrew's Cross serves as a warning to the drivers that they are approaching a railway crossing and should be vigilant for trains. This is how a St. Andrew's Cross would look like. And when you see the St. Andrew's Cross, you have an obligation to stop. That means while approaching level crossing, you might have to stop if necessary. You should slow down, reduce your speed and be prepared to stop. You should look and listen. You should check both directions for any approaching trains. And you should only proceed with caution. You should proceed if it is clear and safe to cross. Let's move on. If you see a St. Andrew's Cross with an additional electric sign, this is an indication of existing overhead electrical wires. Please note that railway traffic has priority. You should always wait when a rail vehicle is approaching. So all of these are applicable when you see the St. Andrew's Cross. Let's move on. Let's look at this scenario. What to do when approaching a rail crossing. And the scenario is barrier begins to lower. The correct action is you should wait in front of the level crossing. Waiting is crucial because the barrier indicates that a train is approaching. And the incorrect action might be that you continue driving even if there is no train in sight. This is unsafe as trains can approach suddenly. Switch on the hazard lights. It is not required for you to switch on the hazard lights unless it is directed by local regulations. Let's move on. Anticipating rail crossing without technical safeguards. And where can you expect such crossings? You expect this at less frequently used roads or industrial zones and port areas or dirt tracks and forest tracks. So in all of these areas you could expect this, and the explanation is these areas often lack advanced signaling due to less frequent usage or challenging conditions. Let's move on. When must you wait at a level crossing? You are required to wait when there is a flashing red light that comes on, when the barriers are being lowered, and if a railway employee is waving a red white flag. We'll see that flag in the later slides. All these signals indicate the need to stop for safety. Let's move on. Approaching a level crossing with half barriers and flashing lights. The scenario is that if red light is flashing but the barrier is still open, the correct action in such cases you should wait in front of the St. Andrew's Cross. The red light indicates a train may be coming. The barrier will likely close soon. And the incorrect actions are proceed as long as the barrier is half open. No, it's unsafe as the red light signals a train. Cross if no vehicle is in sight. This is also risky as trains can appear suddenly. Let's move on. Approaching a level crossing with open barriers. The right actions to take is approach at a moderate speed. Look along the railway line. You should check both sides of the railway line. If you might block the crossing due to a traffic congestion, so if there are vehicles ahead of you, you should wait before the level crossing. Even with open barriers, ensure safety by checking for trains. Do not block the crossing as it could be dangerous and disruptive. So which means you should not stay in the rails, and if there is a traffic jam, you should stay behind the St. Andrew's Cross. And the incorrect action is of course to proceed at the same speed as the road traffic. This is risky as you need to be vigilant for any approaching trains even if you have open barriers. Let's move on. Forest track level crossing without St. Andrew's Cross. So there could be some forest roads or forest track without St. Andrews Cross, and the actions is to proceed at moderate speed, check for any approaching rail vehicles, listen for rail vehicle signals, whistling or ringing bells. Lack of formal signs, so lack of St. Andrews Cross means you need to be extra cautious. And the incorrect actions are proceed without special precautions. Let's move on. What to do when barriers are closed? The right action is to wait before the St. Andrews Cross without obstructing the junctions. If dark, you should switch on the side lights if possible. This ensures that you are visible and not blocking the crossing or junction. The incorrect action is to wait directly in front of the barrier. So going too close to the barrier is not recommended. Rather, you should stay ahead of, or you should wait before the St. Andrews Cross. What to do when you have a traffic congestion at rail crossing? Where to wait? You should wait in front of St. Andrews Cross, because you should avoid stopping on the rails or level with the barrier, as it can obstruct the train and is unsafe. The incorrect action is to stay just before the rails or to level with the barrier. Stopping at a level crossing with a red flashing right arrow. So the scenario is something like this. You encounter a level crossing with a red flashing light in the shape of an arrow pointing to the right. If you see something like this with a flashing light pointing with an arrow pointing to the right, who must stop? Traffic turning right must stop. Traffic moving straight ahead or traffic turning left need not stop if you get such a red flashing light. Let's look at this. So if you see this white, red, white flag with a flagged man, stop in front of the level crossing. Okay, and what do you mean by this? This means you should approach, or you may approach at a maximum speed of 10 km/h.
That's all with this video. I will see you in the next one.